Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, NBC Sports Radio Station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, TeeLive, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness, because you all know I'm on a Happy 88 mission, which is 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So I have topics and guests and series to that end. If you missed my great interview earlier this week on my Tuesday Talent series with Susie Singer Carter, who is the producer of Soul Surfer, I'm going to chat with her to see if I can't get her on. The woman, I don't know if you saw that, Larry, the woman that got her arm bit off by a shark, and she ended up being a competitive surfer, very successful, very inspiring. But she has a new expose film out on nursing home neglect. So if you missed that show, you can get it free on my free subscribe YouTube channel. Just go there and get an alert, and you can join me every weekday morning here at 9 live. And today is no exception on fabulous shows. In fact, it's a celebratory show. You will see, you'll recognize him. He's been on enough now that you should. He is Larry Burton, my Empowered Relationship Relief co-host, and he is always helping me in particular and us experience increased happiness. And I brought him here to ward off some holiday blues this month. He's the developer of the Pondera Process, an innovative energy psychology technique that effectively alleviates distressing emotions, beliefs, and memories. As a certified practitioner with over 20 years experience, Larry is dedicated to helping individuals move forward in their lives with greater ease. His innovative approach has transformed the lives of countless people, helping them to experience greater peace, serenity, and joy. And I'm amongst that number. He's also the best-selling author of Self-Help 2.0, and he just released his newest book. In fact, the launch party is here today. Empowered Self-Help, less frustration, more success, faster results. And that's his newest book. So please welcome back to my studio, and congratulations on your new book, Larry Burton. We're going to add a little bit of hurrah, because it's not easy releasing new books. And I asked him, do you do a release party? Have you had a release party? And he said no. So this is your official release party on that book, and I'm so delighted. We'll find out more about it. But before we get to that and get to the topic of today, you know the drill, folks. We start every show with breakfast, and I'm having breakfast with my once a month fabulous Empowered Relationship Release co-host, Larry Burton. And we're going to have breakfast by taking a bite of the gratitude sandwich. Top of the bun is things outside of ourselves that we're grateful for. And I'll start with the garbage truck that you hear. And I'm grateful that we have people that pick up our trash. Not all countries have that luxury. And then the bottom of the bun, we're going to model for you what we want you to do before you go to bed, instead of thinking about all the things that went wrong or how you're not good enough or who done who wrong, somebody that have the chronic state of annoyance. So instead of that, you're going to think about things that you like about yourself. So gratitude turned inwards. And that's how we start every weekday morning. Welcome. I see eyeballs rolling in. If you'd like to participate in this good life habit, then please just put something in the chat on what you're grateful for. If you're driving and listening in on the AM FM station, please do not type in anything. Wait till you land. Go to my YouTube TV channel and you'll be able to participate. All right, Larry, what are you grateful for?
Outside of myself, this time of year, we live about 10 miles from a range of mountains, and the air just makes those mountains really pop. And so every time I turn going north, I see the mountains, and it's just a real treat. So one thing that is unique to this time of year.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm grateful that it is this season of joy. It is my favorite holiday period outside of April Fool's Day. That's my favorite holiday, but I'm grateful that we are in this season now and that there's more positivity than bah humbug wherever I look.
Yep.
What else are you grateful for?
Outside of myself, I would echo that, seeing the fun decorations, seeing the people with the little reindeer antlers on the windows of their cars and things of that nature. So just a little more humor, a little more light, a little more joy. The vibration is just a little bit higher.
Yeah. I'm grateful for medical technology. I think I look young and feel young and act young for sure. But my body has been lately going, hello. And so I'm grateful for doctors who I tore both rotator cuffs and, my hips don't lie and my back, my childhood scoliosis is coming back with a vengeance. So I'm grateful for doctors and medical technology and their ability to help alleviate all my heavy on my body life.
Some things,
One more. What are you grateful for?
Outside of myself, I would just realize that we've had the same gardener for probably 15 years now, and he's, I don't know if he'll ever quit. He's 75 and it's going strong and just fits. So I'm just really grateful that I don't have to think about going out and doing all those leaves and stuff. So it's just able to enjoy the yard and what we have a little bit more because of his service.
That's so nice. And I'm grateful for social media, believe it or not. Oh, I know. I just made Larry choke. And by the way, you just got a love hug from somebody on the chat. They didn't identify, but they did give you a hug on that one. So that's beautiful. I am going to be grateful for, I said social media. I'm going to say it again, just so you, because it's a platform where I can splatter more hope and happiness for free. And that I can do something that I love to do, which is a video. Didn't realize I was a Meta actually approached me during COVID and I had time because all my motivational talks had been canceled. They asked me if I wanted to be a digital creator. I had no idea what that was. And they just said, just keep doing your clips. And so I have been, and I enjoy the platform that's free and that's social media. And I'm a giver. And yesterday I got some negative comments on a show that I did a while back. And I'll segue into what I appreciate about myself is that used to just take me down, and I'd be so hurt and so, I'd lose at least a day ruinating in the insults. And then, it wasn't bad enough, that insult. And then 3 people liked that insult. And it was just and thank God it doesn't happen very often, but I am so appreciative that I have learned and I teach this, that I bake my own cake. I am not perfect, and not everybody's going to like me or my show or what I say or how I say it. And it's okay. I choose to focus on the positive
Right.
compliments that I get every day,
Right.
which far outweigh the negative.
Yep.
And I appreciate, I'll just do all my appreciations. I appreciate that I have learned to approve of myself, which is why I make you guys do this. This is a muscle exercise to sharpen your focus. So in every moment, you can either focus on the end of the stick that's negative or the end of the stick that's positive. So that's, I'm really good at that. So I mean, that happened yesterday. I didn't even think about it yesterday. I'm bringing it up as a teaching point. I'll probably think about it a little more now, but I know how to let that go and move to another topic. And there's so much good in my life, and there's so many people who actually appreciate my yakking. So and it's okay that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And to be okay with that is really, truly one of the best gifts I have given myself in my life.
Yep.
So what do you like about yourself, Larry? Bottom of the button.
Well, no, you're picking up on just what you're saying about perfectionism. That we carry this baggage from childhood that we need to be perfect somehow, and especially if you're in the creative space. So if you're writing books or doing videos or doing a radio show, you go in there thinking you're going to be perfect, and it's not going to happen. And that was a big place where I needed to shift a belief to go from being perfect to being good enough. Is what I'm doing helping people? And what you're doing is helping people. And that's what matters. And that really perfectionism is a point of view. It's not every
disease.
It's subjective. So trying to do it perfect, you can't, you got 100 people, 100 different people have a different idea of what perfect is.
Yeah.
So you just do what's true to you and to your heart that gives you joy. And it's like holding out a platter of cookies, and those that want a cookie can take one, and the rest can go find a different baker. So, exactly. So just moving through that, away from perfectionism to good enough. And in fact, that's probably going to be the next book that I put together, a short book on using the Pondera process to shift that belief and get to that place where you can be happier because you're not trying to be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I talk about that a lot in my 8 Ways to Happiness, that perfectionism is a dis-ease with life. You're not at ease with what is, and that's a horrible way to live, because then nothing and no one and yourself and what's going on around you is not good enough. Someone just gave you the finger, Larry, which is not that finger, but this finger. So that's kind of cool.
Thumb, is that what you're saying?
Yes, thumbs up is always good. And I would say, Larry, you're more than good enough. I think good enough sounds like a mediocre. So for me, you're more than good enough. I'm more than good enough. We're not like 100% perfect, all that. And coaches, there's so many ways to find relief. There's not one perfect way that is going to work for everybody. We're all different. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about all the different processes and all the different ways that we can have more happiness. I mean, that's really the basis of my show. It always has been. And finding people like Larry and finding, lots of different ways in which to heal from things that are not happy making.
Right.
And, and it's more than good enough. I think I'm 88% fabulous, and 12% of the time I step in it. And when I do something that, rubs people the wrong way, obviously I was in my 12%, and oh well. And this is a live show. So without getting defensive, it's always, my father taught me early, my Chinese dad who passed from lymphoma. He taught me, he would say critics are one-legged people teaching you or telling you how to run. And that's the thing. If you're going to criticize, I have no problem with anyone criticizing as long as you're doing it. Like if you've done it and you can do it better, then you have the right to criticize. But if you've never done it, you might want to, follow the if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all.
Yeah. So and to me, being perfect, that's a learned belief. So but we pick it up early on and we think that it's just the way life is, but it's not.
Right.
And you can change if that belief isn't serving you, if it's causing you distress, then you have the opportunity to shift it to a more empowering belief.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're encouraging to do. And there goes the phone that I did not turn off.
There you go. 12%.
There you go. There's a live show for you.
All right. And before we completely make breakfast into the whole show, let's close off our morning exercise, taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich, by saying thank you for joining us for breakfast. And I hope you continue 28 consecutive days to create a habit that is no longer unfamiliar or uncomfortable. So whether you join me on the show every weekday morning at 9 Pacific time, or do it on your own, I would encourage you to take a bite of a gratitude sandwich so that you can have a day sandwiched in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day, Larry Burton, take it away.
So, we've looked before on the Empowered Self-Help. I have the Pondera Path, and that is the new addition to the new book, is that step-by-step process that we've been doing over the last 4 months, I guess, 4 months. And with you, we jumped very quickly to dealing with an emotion and then a belief in memory where they came from. But if you back up, one of the first things that I share with people is how to balance the energy in your nervous system. And that's getting a lot more attention nowadays, in part because in the last 20 years, less than that, Dr. Stephen Porges put out his book on polyvagal theory, with dealing with the vagus nerve. And what we realized is that vagus nerve is like the backbone to your central nervous system. And that's where it gets programmed by life experiences and can cause you significant distress, putting you into fight or flight or freeze. So what we can do is tap into that loving energy of a power that's more than ourself in order to balance the energy in our vagus nerve. And very quickly, that's just really made up of 3 primary parts. You've got the fight flight. So when you have that instinctive response to, run away or to fight, that kicks in and the sympathetic nervous system sends the message to the brain and to the muscles, extra blood, so forth, to do so. Or you could go into the freeze, where you just like play possum and play dead, sort of thing. And we've known about those elements for quite a while. What's relatively new is the idea of the ventral vagal, which is where we sense connection and well-being. So if you've ever, or I shouldn't say if you ever, when you meet somebody that you feel an attraction to, that you feel safe with, where you resonate with, that is that aspect of the vagus nerve that's being activated. And when you practice gratitude, what you're doing is feeding that portion of your nervous system, which interestingly enough, then acts as a brake to all the anxiety and all the other disruptions that we feel that are less pleasant.
Acts as a rake, did you say?
Rake with a B.
A break. Okay, I was picturing a rake.
Yeah,
So
no, a break. So what happens is the more that you practice gratitude and the more that you're focusing on the positive, the more that you're putting yourself in with community where you're feeling that connection and that well-being, that helps to tamp down the fight, flight, and freeze response that you could have and become less agitated. That's one of the reasons that gratitude is so important to practice and why you do the gratitude sandwich, in the mornings. So that's what's going on there. So all that said, you can't go through life without picking up a bunch of crud energetically. That's just the way things are. We're surrounded. You're going to be exposed to negativity, and there's going to be lots of advertising that tells you that you're not perfect and you need to buy this product in order to be better, that kind of nonsense. So there's a lot of stuff wanting to drag you down. And then we've got we all carry emotional experiences that have stuck with us in the energy in our system. So that's why I then took the research from what we know about the vagus nerve and said, all right, how do we use our access to that loving energy to balance it out? And then was inspired to come up with this protocol for balancing the energy in the vagus nerve.
Right.
So,
And if you are just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on, I have my fabulous co-host once a month, Empowered Relationship Relief co-host, here again with the Pondera Path, which I pulled up. And if you have been with us, we've hit many of these steps. And please access not just his website that has tons of freebies on it, but go back and watch him work on me. I'm a very good victim. I'm kidding. I'm a very good volunteer. And he has tremendously helped me with eliminating and treating and eliminating, or at least minimizing and releasing some of that negative energy behind past memories. So it's a great energetic way to choose more happiness by releasing those things behind the memories. It's something that I never thought about, never really understood. And what he's doing now is kind of going back. If we go along the path, the challenge that I identified with him was, not being part of a couple, or my relationship roadblocks, which were so many because of my past, and hadn't really dealt with it. I would say I just haven't met the right person. Well, that's bullshit-talky, because I am not going to allow the right person. Plus, I don't think there's just one person. Not that I'm polyamorous, but, I believe in the book of romance, many chapters, but I wasn't even allowing that book to be open because of the past memories from my husband. Y'all know about that story, and all the money I lost, and just like, I haven't had really good relationships. So that's what Larry's been helping me. So go to the playlist on my YouTube TV channel that says Empowered Relationship Relief, and you'll get an active, be me and work through that as an actual, you can work along with me, because what he's saying definitely applies to probably 88% of the people who are listening right now. I mean, if you're breathing and human. But the other thing I wanted to highlight is his website has so many free things. So just go and you can, you don't even need to sign up. But if you sign up, you get helpful tips that he emails you automatically as well. You can work with him as well. You can very nominal. What is it, a month? Where
it's only $27 a month, and you got 1 week to try it out.
Yeah,
and that's where we have all the recordings. So what we're going to be doing today with the Vegas nerve would be part of that there if they wanted the audio.
this one right here, right? Balance the energy in your nervous system.
That's correct.
That's correct, right? So that's what we're going to be doing today. So just to give you the context, he's only here once a month, so we have to do a little review so that everybody's on the same page. So that is what we're doing today, and you take it away. I'm going to do this.
There's you are, because of your years of experience and because of your background with Eastern medicine and Tai Chi and working with energy, you had done a lot of what is accomplished here. Probably not as directly to your nervous system, but in general, which is what allowed you to move quickly into dealing with some of the beliefs and memories that have been roadblocks to you. Because remember the quote from Rumi, he said, you don't look for love, you look for the blocks to the love that already is there. And that's what you did. And that's what you're doing in your relationship, is you're removing those blocks that you picked up to love and allowing yourself to attract a partner that is right for you, highest and best for you. So, but most people, at least in the West, do not have the benefit of that kind of experience and training and life experience. Excuse me. So that's why very quickly we start with the nervous system and just balancing there. That makes it a lot easier to deal with any emotions, beliefs, or memories later on that you want to shift, to remove those obstacles to your happiness. So let's do the process for the vagus nerve. As you talk, with both hands over the heart. Normally,
please do this along with me. I'm going to tell everybody who's now listening, if you want a free treatment, here it is. And you can be me, and I'll speak on your behalf in proxy for you. But this is for anyone who wants to grow out of just fight, flight, and freeze, really, so that you can have a choice in your responses. All right, go ahead.
And in this, I'm going to use the term higher power, but you can put whatever language you prefer for that which is more than yourself.
Yeah, we did a whole episode on finding a higher power. You can go look for that in the playlist as well.
Okay. So we're going to do this. Normally you would take, after each statement, you would take 3 breaths, switch hands, and take 3 more breaths. We're going to shorten that up because you don't like dead air on radio for some reason.
Even though I have cameras in my studio on the YouTube side, the AM FM side, I don't want and don't do this while you're driving.
Yes, please. Or heavy machinery, as I say. So, all right, let's get started. So go ahead and just take a couple of deep breaths, and breathe into that space behind your heart. Just deep into your core.
Yeah.
And switch hands. And take another deep breath. And as you feel centered there, repeat after me. I dedicate this session.
I dedicate this session
to that which is highest and best for me.
To that which is highest and best for me.
And anyone else.
And anyone else.
That may benefit from it.
That may benefit from it.
Just focus on that statement and take a deep breath in. In through the nose, out through the mouth.
Yeah.
And then switch hands. And breathe into that statement. The thoughts, actions, and events.
The thoughts, actions, and events.
That led up to. The energy. In my dorsal vagal. And sympathetic nervous system. Being disrupted. Are in the past. I am safe now. And breathe into that statement. Switch hands and another deep breath. I choose
to
let go of
to let go of
all disrupted and blocked energy
all disruptive and blocked energy
in my dorsal vagal
in my dorsal vagal
and sympathetic nervous system.
and sympathetic nervous system.
It is safe
It is safe
for my dorsal vagal
for my dorsal vagal
and sympathetic nervous system
and sympathetic nervous system.
to let go of
I let go of
all disrupted
all disrupted
or blocked energy
or blocked energy
now.
now.
And deep breath. And switch hands and another deep breath.
I just felt something release in my back.
Good. I forgive
I forgive
everyone who has hurt me
everyone who has hurt me
in connection to
in connection to
the damage
the damage
to my dorsal vagal
to my dorsal vagal
and sympathetic nervous system,
and sympathetic nervous system,
including myself.
including myself.
I send us all
I send us all
love and light.
love and light.
And breathe in golden white light. Breathe in that higher power, that living energy. And switch hands and take another deep breath in loving energy. I choose
I choose
to let go of
to let go of
all the roots and causes
all the roots and causes
of any blocked
of any block
or disrupted energy
or disruptive and or disrupted energy
in my dorsal vagal
in my dorsal vagal
and sympathetic
and sympathetic
nervous system.
nervous system.
I send love and light
I send love and light
to all parts
to all parts
of my nervous system.
of my nervous system. And I just realized I forgot to do something that makes this really extra powerful for me is the one before this, when I forgive all, if I identify them, it helps the actual release of that block. So I'm going to say the block from Roger, who was my first, and it was such a horrible experience. So I'm releasing that. And I'm releasing my husband who purposely withheld affection and intimacy as a power move. And I send him love and light. He did the best that he could. And it's from his own pain, not anything personal to me. I removed the block of me continuing to go to the tractor for milk with him, trying to get him to love me when he was not capable. And that was the damage I did and blocked myself in all of those 6 times when I, just couldn't leave and kept, hurting myself. The guy in San Francisco who just couldn't give me flowers, and that's on him, not me. And I let go of that block really well and did not go to the tractor for milk. The latest one who wanted to move on and didn't want to continue my 4th first date. And again, it wasn't a match, and it has nothing to do with me being desirable or lovable. I am lovable, loving, and loved 88% of the time. And none of these blocks are any reflection of my lovability. I am so beloved of my UPS man, my higher power, my universal power source. And it's always this and better. And this whole process of learning to love myself and attract a loving partner is just amazing. And And that is a testament to the removal of the blocks in my vagal nerve and sympathetic system.
It is. Take a deep breath into all that. A breath of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And switch hands.
Yeah.
And then I am grateful
I am grateful
that my higher power
that my higher power
is balancing all of the energy in my dorsal vagal
on my dorsal vagal
and sympathetic nervous system. Just breathe into that. The loving energy of that which is more than yourself.
I missed that part. What was that? Say that again.
No, just a comment.
Oh,
It was just a comment. Just to acknowledge just that
perfectionist
that loving energy is
student.
balancing your
I thought I missed a repeat.
statement.
Okay,
I send love and light
I send love and light
to anchor well-being and safety
to anchor well-being and safety
into my ventral vagal
into my ventral vagal
and parasympathetic nervous system, restoring the highest and best function of my nervous system
now. And this is where we are working on choosing responses that are not to automatically unfriend or ghost or delete or or block, and be okay with the discomfort of rejection, which is not really rejection. It's just not a match. And I continue to work on that in this activity called dating.
So just anchor that with the gift that you're being given from that which is living yourself.
I felt a release in my shoulders on that one. Yeah.
And then the last statement is thank you, higher power.
Thank you, UPS man, higher power.
That all parts of me
are accepting
this balancing of energy in all parts
of
my nervous system now.
Yeah.
And switch hands. And then keep breathing in till you feel that you are done. And then come back to your space.
Man, I just had the song, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by my UPS man. My universal power source. Whoa.
So you know.
Hold on. Larry, thank you. Xie for taking me through that very powerful process, the Pondera process. For those of you who've joined since we started that, hopefully you did that with me and felt the benefit. And if you did, please put it in the chat, because we love knowing that our intent to help has impacted that way. And I know we've gotten more fingers, more hearts, and more hugs in the emojis. So thank you for that. And Larry, I want you to receive the appreciation from myself and others. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't want you to move on so quickly, sir, which is a habit that you have. Just saying, right? Turnabout is
Yeah. Pause to receive.
yes, yes. And I just had another thought. If you guys wanted to do this with all of the people that activate or that get on your other nerve, not the vagal nerve, during the holidays. I mean, this is a great process to go through, and you can use those same statements that he just said, and instead of where I spoke about all of those, you substitute, all those well-meaning relatives who are more mean than well that you come up against during the holidays. Oh, you've gained weight, or you're still not married, or why don't you have children, and all of those where the fight flight maybe has been your habit. But if you unblock those defensive, reactions, you can, practice this wonderful way to respond and to love and appreciate instead of knee-jerk reaction, which almost always ends up you looking like a jerk.
But it's helpful, Marissa, to think of this like a computer. So your nervous system from life experience has been programmed to react in a particular way, especially when you've had significant emotional or physical injury of some sort. And that's what life has done to you, but you have the opportunity to clean up the hard drive of your nervous system. And that's what we're doing here. It's like when you go in and defrag the computer so that it runs better, that's what we're doing. So I've been doing this for 2 decades now, and I use this process 2 to 3 times a week simply because it helps me to stay more calm, centered, and deal with the noise that is all around and not get triggered as much.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so early on in the Pondera path. And it is a great thing to use for the holidays because there are more opportunities for people to push your buttons and to get triggered and to feel, less than during the holidays. So that's why I'm glad we're doing that this month, because it is a gift that we can give to ourselves. And that script is available for free in the web and on the website under freebies. So
yes, I'm pulling it up right now. If you see, you get a free PDF of the Pondera Path. All of what Larry was just talking about is in this one right here, and you can get it for free. So the suggestion is not to do it yourself, to do it with someone, so that you're not, if you hit a certain point and you get stuck and you're not drowning or feeling, like you're going down that black hole and be like Humpty Dumpty and can't get up again. So and Larry is available, very nominal contribution to help you through this. Again, the $27 a month is a very, very nominal. It's way cheaper than therapy. Nothing against that, but this is. I have to say, 7 out of 10 of us, folks, 7 out of 10 of us have had childhood trauma. And when I was given that statistic through my training in clinical psych, I was shocked, because all this time I thought I was, terminally unique in my, my pain and chronically sad or frustrated or angry and blaming and shaming. I'm not alone. And that's why, I wrote my 8 Ways to Happiness, that on Mondays you get a free copy of the audiobook. But, I realized too, my approach is much more cognitive, and that I did not understand the importance of the negativity in the energy side of memories. It's not just remembering with your mind, to remember with your energy. And then my UPS man delivered Larry and his wife on an airport shuttle earlier this year, which is, perfect delivery so that I could do the necessary work to get at that deeper level. And, it's really been helpful. I think my whole approach to dating has changed because of the work that I've done with you. I'm much more able to choose my intentions. I'm not here to find that soul mate, which there's no such thing as just one soulmate. I'm sorry. There's a lot of possibilities, but I'm here to have fun now. I'm here to work on these things that are getting in my way. And it's making for a much more fun dating experience while I'm swiping. Swipe or no swiping. So we have to take a quick break for news, weather, and traffic. Don't go away. I see we're still lots of people here. Please do take this minute to chat with Larry if you have any questions on your own personal situation. When we come back, we're going to talk about his newest books. So don't go away. We'll be back. Chuck Woolery said 2 and 2. He's on the other side in love now. I say peace in, peace out. Don't go away.
Take back your life with Dr.Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're too to take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind. Number one talk in the IE at 9. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel that houses all 1,281 podcast shows over the last 657 consecutive weeks. And I'm so grateful that y'all still here. They said I wouldn't last more than a year talking nothing about headlines, but only about heart lines and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So thank you for that. Today, as you can see, is once a month empowered self-help. And we're moving Larry to Mondays because it is really more suited to my mental health matters Mondays. And that's why we're doing that. You'll hear him first Monday in January, where, we are really looking to help yourself with good mental health. And he's got a new book out.
Yeah.
The best-selling book, Self-Help 2.0, has done very well. People have been asking him to write another book, and this is the official launch for, what's the name of the book?
Well, we're calling it just Empowered Self-Help, just staying with the brand. And, real quickly, to come back to what we were doing with the vagus nerve, for those people that you can get the script, there is an audio available in the store if you want to have that and do it on your own, or have somebody do it with you. But the whole reason I started down this, and the reason for the book, is what I call blue collar spirituality. I want to give people the tools to help themselves, and then to reach out to another person when that's what's in their best interest, but not have to be dependent on somebody else to help them with just the day-to-day stuff. So, it's anytime if you write a book, especially if you're doing any kind of research, you have the challenge of what's called the magnum opus. So you basically end up writing a dissertation. And the first book, Self-Help 2.0, was sort of that process for me, because I knew what I was doing was working, but I didn't really understand why. It was more inspiration and intuition and a lot of the reasoning I had, but I needed to go back and understand why traditional self-help didn't work for me when recovering from a divorce and moving through codependency and being the adult child of an alcoholic and all the baggage that I picked up. And it was only when I started working with the energy around the emotions, beliefs, and memories that I got significant relief and helped others. But that being said, we needed to make it a little more simple and a little more practical. And that's why I wrote the Empowered Self-Help, which my webmaster hasn't put on the website yet.
Oh, that answers the question. I'm looking for the
Still
graphic.
looking for it.
I'm looking for the graphic, and I can't watch it.
No, that's on the punch list. Yes.
Yes.
So, it's you'll find it on Amazon, and then
okay.
And I'll get it onto other distributions. But the whole premise was to simplify what I put in to Self-Help 2.0, the essential information without all the back story and research, and then introduce the Pondera path. So that is relatively new, where I was able to break this down into a step-by-step process and then give people the tools that help them to take each step. So a person can begin wherever they are at and just move through and making that connection with a loving energy. We're making a connection with that, which is more than themselves, using it to help their nervous system like we did this morning, then moving on to dealing with any emotions, beliefs, or memories that are fueling that distress, and then ending with a very powerful practice for gratitude. Yeah, there you go, the second one down.
Okay, there we go. Oh, beautiful butterflies.
Yeah. So that's
less frustration, empowered self-help, less frustration, more success, faster results. So that's great. I'm going to read this. The time has come for us to update our approach to self-help. It's time to bring self-help into the 21st century. You no longer have to be a victim of life's challenges and problems. You can more easily turn them into fertilizer. I use that helps you grow towards greater peace, serenity, and joy. Today, the accumulation of research and experience of thousands of people tells us there's a better way forward. The traditional approaches to self-help have resulted in as much or more frustration as they have intangible results. There is a more effective path which you can take to move through the problems and challenges of life, experiencing greater hope, peace, and serenity along the way. This book will introduce you to an empowered approach to self-help and a practical process you can use immediately to get results. So there you go. Because I know you spent some time, with that summary. So I think that's a great description of the book that we are launching today on my show.
Jump off that exhausting.
That one. So those of you who really gave us a lot of different emojis today, I'm expecting you to go and get this book and go to his website, Empowered Self-Help, so that you can start helping yourself. I mean, I don't know anybody who's made it this practically easy to help yourself. And so I'm always on him to try to increase his rates, and he won't. So there you go.
Yeah, we're doing a win-win. We want everybody to come out ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we are up to the final part of the show. Wrap up for me. What's your final word, Larry, in all of this?
We are designed to be happy. And that regardless of all the noise and crud around us, we can tap into that energy of pure love. And you just find the ways that work for you. And this is the Pondera Path gives us tools that work for the majority of folks. And it's okay to give yourself that gift on this holiday season. And I encourage people to practice self-care.
Yes, that's a great way. You're worth it. This is a holiday gift for you, right? And it will you know, my whole reason to do this is I want the holidays to be as happy and beautiful as they can be. And this year in particular is a difficult one. I hear it all over the place from people I know and people I don't know, that I hear in line or over, you know, when they're talking in the elevator on the phone when they shouldn't be. And, you know, just complaining and, oh, I'm not going to, you know, I'm not having them over, or I'm not going to their house, and the election and and it just saddens, you know. That's on top of a lot of people who say, I hate the holidays and I just wish we would just go to New Year's. And I'm like, oh, that hurts my heart, because this is such a beautiful season about connection and about love and about peace and about joy. So I'm highlighting Larry and highlighting Mental Health Matters Mondays because it's part of my Happy 88 mission. You're not going to be happy if you're holding on to hurts and anger and a chronic sense of annoyance. Or
to interrupt you, you don't need to hold on to them in order to be safe.
Yeah.
And understand that's why you do it as a protection mechanism, but you can learn to tap into that power of love, which is more than ourself, in order to be safe. That's why early in the Pondera path, I have that safe space visualization, which we did before.
Yes, and that's in the
play. You can find that in one of your the YouTube recordings.
Yes,
so
yeah.
You can be safe letting go of that garbage.
Absolutely. And when we come back in January, we have another launch. Official launch of another thing that Larry's been working on with someone else, and we're going to try to get him in studio at the same time. You want to give a little preview hint on what that is?
Yeah, I have a good friend who like you, is a counseling psychologist, 25 years of experience, and we just put our heads together and created a program called Anxiety Away, and just taking the Pondera process and applying it directly to how do we let go of the anxiety that we are all plagued with. So
Awesome. So lots to look forward to. First Monday in January, Larry will be back. We know I'll see you there. You know the drill, Larry. I close the show. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow is Straight Talk. And we have tomorrow's Ricky Rebel and Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa. So don't miss it. Tomorrow at 9. And now go and have the best day ever. Thank you so much, Larry.
All right.